Alexander's dad died when he was 5. I was pregnant with my youngest, and the more people to love your kid, that's what you want. And losing a parent is really hard. My son was very connected to his dad, as a lot of 5-year-olds are. And my husband was a magnificent person and father, and would have brought tremendous things to Alexander's world. My name is Eron Friedlaender, and most importantly, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids, and my oldest son, Alexander, is autistic. He's 22, and he was diagnosed at about 2.5. So autism has been a part of my life and my family's life for a long time. I felt that I was encountering so many people who were trying to support my son, but were focused on his limitations and what he couldn't do. And it felt really hard that every conversation was about the challenges he had, rather than sort of celebrating his successes and figuring out how to amplify the things that he did really well so that he could spend most of his time on those. It was really his label that made people afraid, rather than how he behaved, which was, I think, really challenging for me to negotiate. But my kid was all that I needed to focus on, and I just dug in and we gave him what he needed. Interestingly, he found sports to be one of the early ways that he could learn actually a lot of skills, but also just play, and it was fun for him. And everything I was told was that he was never going to be a team player. He wasn't going to be able to figure that out. But where he actually loved to be was on the soccer field and the lacrosse field. He learned a lot of executive function and sort of nonverbal communication through sports, and that was a really beautiful way for him to integrate skills that he was meant to learn, but in a fun way. And I realized supporting the things he did well was much more important than focusing on his vulnerabilities. He's now a college senior. He's in a typical university, in a typical dorm room with a roommate, studying history of art and doing extremely well academically. He works really hard at it. And there are many days he'll say to me, "Mom, I think I've reached my potential. I think that there's no more I know how to do." But somehow he gets up the next day and there's more, and he can continue. And that's pretty amazing. There's so many things that are hard. I see people as a doctor, people with autism coming in, suffering different kind of injustices all the time. And the rates of sadness and depression and loneliness and isolation and lack of supports that I see in such huge waves is really hard. I carry that with me, and I hope that I balance for my son a bit of what's hard out there, when he leaves our home. So it's something I carry, but I hope that my son doesn't feel. I don't think he feels that, the burdens that our communities kind of impose on people who are different. He seems a bit untouched by that, and that's a great blessing.